Welcome to Brave Reflections. My name is Claudel Finnick. In this video, I want to talk about the courage to look through other lenses. And what I mean by that is, firstly, to understand, it's us understanding with absolute clarity that our worldview is not the only view, and that our reality is not the only reality, that we may be spending time with people, we may be sitting in the same room, thinking that everybody experiences the world or experience a certain set of circumstances, a certain situation, exactly the same way that we do. The reality, though, is that all of us look through different lenses, and those lenses are really shaped, formed by our upbringing, our past, our experiences, accumulative experiences over the years. And it gives us a very specific way of looking at the world. What we do forget in the process, though, is that other people have come through different experiences. They've had different upbringing. They have different belief systems. The value systems may, on the surface, seem the same as our value systems, but the interpretation of what those value systems mean may be very, very different. Your ability to first recognize that does take courage, because we live in a world where the self, our life centering, revolving around ourselves, has become more and more commonplace. It's become less common for us to look to other people with empathy and understanding their realities. And so, firstly, being able to stop yourself in your tracks takes courage. And then being able to very consciously take a step back and make the decision to go out of your way to look through the eyes of other people. So, and that means that you have to listen with the objective to learn, not to listen with the objective to respond, or to listen with the objective to fit it into your frame of reference and therefore interpret the reality. But it's really your ability to step back, look through the eyes of others with absolute empathy, listen to them, and see, do everything in your power to see what it is that they see. Now, sometimes we shy away from that, because somewhere deep inside of us, we do know that if we were to look through somebody else's eyes, that we may find out for ourselves that there are parts of our reality or the way we see the world that is incorrect, and that we need to shift, that we need to change. And that in itself takes courage. And so we tend to not go the extra mile, because we are afraid that we may have to confront demons within ourselves. So the courage to look through other lenses is very important for us as leaders, if we are going to start to see a much more integrated view of the world. So if we look at our organizations, understanding that every single person who comes into the organization looks through a different lens. And just because you're sitting in a leadership position and you're looking through a particular lens doesn't mean that that is really what the organization looks like. So in order for you to understand what the organization truly looks like through the eyes of everybody, you do need to listen and talk to people and see through all of those lenses, and then come to a consolidated view of exactly, or integrated view of where things are at. The reverse is also true. Often what I find when in my coaching and talking to people who are battling with their managers or the people that they're reporting to, I often find that the problem is that they have an inability to look through the eyes of the one they report to, right? So all they see is that they are being victimized, that they are being put under pressure, but they don't have the ability to see that their leader, their manager, is a human being who also has pressures and also has to deal with things. I've often experienced in the past that people reporting to me kind of like what I would used to say is you dehumanizing me because you're only seeing manager, you're not seeing Claudel, you're not seeing an individual who is also having to deal with issues and is also having to deal with pressure that may be coming from further up the top. But it really does take some courage to step back and say, my reality is not the only reality. I want to understand the other realities and then listen with the objective to understand. And then have the courage to change if you need to change. Sometimes it may mean that you need to do a little extra to help people to see things a little differently if they need to see things a little differently. But more often than not, you may find that you need to shift a little bit. So I hope that helps you a little bit to just nudge you to think a little deeper about to what degree do you put effort into looking through other lenses so that you can understand others and their realities, and then start to play a much more meaningful role as a leader because you can see more than just what is in front of you and what your reality says in terms of what is going on around you. I encourage you to go and look at the rest of the website. There are lots of little nuggets all over the place. Go and explore, go read some of the posts, the videos. I've interviewed some really fantastic people. I encourage you to go and listen to them and hope you find real value here at Brave Inflections. Thank you for visiting and for listening.